Hi everybody, this is Carrie Gallagher. Haven't done a Periscope in a while, so I thought today, as some of you are finishing up your school year, I still have a few weeks left, but I thought you might be interested in thinking over the summer about how to go paperless in your classroom. And I have been paperless for 2 full years and started moving toward going paperless about 4 years ago. So if you would like to go paperless, you really need to start with workflow, foundational apps. So in my classroom, a history classroom, there are a few apps that I start right away with at the beginning of the year. The very first one is the one that students use to keep their notebooks. And so for us, that is Evernote. I really love Evernote because it automatically time and date stamps everything, and students can tag their notes with unit numbers or lesson topics, whatever it is that they like to use to organize their notebooks. They can sign in and out of Evernote very easily with any email. So if you have school-issued emails, they can use that. Or if you just have students use Gmail, they can use that too. Yeah, Cynthia loves Evernote too. The next thing I teach them how to use is Skitch, which is part of the Evernote suite of apps. And especially with history, primary source images, political cartoons, paintings, photographs are an essential part of analyzing what happened and seeing things from the perspective of the people who lived the history. So Skitch allows my students to annotate those images in order to demonstrate understanding. They can circle things, they can point to things, they can highlight things, they can even add text to the images themselves. And then those images can be embedded directly into their Evernote notebooks. So what's great about that is, unlike a photocopied image, it is in color, it can be in high definition, and it's added to their notebook and automatically saved. They can also access both these images and their Evernote notebook on their phones when they're sitting in a dentist's office, or even at home when the family computer is already monopolized by a sibling or a parent. So the combination of Skitch and Evernote are our first two apps. The next thing is, how are they going to turn in work to me paperlessly, especially when it's still in draft form? So for us, Google Drive is the best way to do that. For many people, it's Google Classroom. We're not a Google Apps for Education school, so I stick to good old Google Drive and sort things into folders. And then I can comment directly on my students' work. They can respond to my comments with questions, and it works really well for us. Now, what about when they're really proud of all the work that they've done and they're ready to publish it? For us, we use blogs. When I've worked in the middle school, we've used EduBlog so that students' work can be monitored by the teacher more closely. As they move on to high school and they've already been blogging for a couple of years, they're used to understanding the publicity of it and the digital citizenship that comes along with blogging. And so I allow them to each create their own blogger. I give them the option as to whether their blog is going to be public or private, and I provide them with a tutorial for how to make it private so that only they can see it, I can see it, and their parents can see it. And then they post it, and I keep track of it using Feedly, which is a great way to keep track of all the blogs that I read professionally and for my students. So those are our foundational apps: Evernote and Skitch for note-taking, Google Drive for rough drafts and feedback, and Blogger for publishing their final work. Once we've got all that down pat, usually by the end of September, mid-October, the beginning of the school year, we can start expanding our repertoire. Students start creating multimedia presentations using things that I'm sure most of you are familiar with, like Prezi or iMovie. We've also used Glogster. They use fun little apps like ChatterPix. I could name a million more. But starting with, that's what happens when you go live. There's announcements in the background. But starting with those foundational apps, those are the ones that my students and I use every day, no matter what. That's what will get you going paperless. So good luck, and let me know how it goes. Cheers. Thanks for watching.